Hey everybody, Christian from Treasure Town here, and today we're going to be talking about 5 ways to go broke coin dealing, because some people lose a little bit of money. Most people end up being positive once they've taken their time to learn and get really involved in the hobby and industry, but there are some people who flame out spectacularly and have significantly adverse outcomes with their involvements in coin dealing. So I think that this is a helpful video. It's similar to when you're investing. What you really want to avoid is a permanent loss of capital, because if you have $100 and your investment goes to $90 and you need to sell and get out of it and go into something else, that's a loss. Maybe you go down to 80, but you still have a fair amount of items. What you really want to avoid is buying some sort of a risky investment product and then it drops to 0, because you can't make anything off of 0. Or if it goes to 10, it's very unlikely to 10 times your money. That's super improbable. So anyways, it's a similar approach in coin collecting, and coin dealing. There can be some really bad consequences. So we're going to be talking about how to avoid those permanent losses of capital, or at least ways that people do that, so that you can, sort of understand various risks in participating in the coin industry and hobby in various ways. Number 1 is going to be trading on significant leverage or debt. And this is something that seems really appealing to a lot of people and most businesses. To be honest, it almost is obvious to take on debt to do trading or to do operations and not have to pay everything out of cash. And I should probably make my own video, and maybe in a few years it'll have some better perspective. But the thing is, it's super helpful to use debt to scale a business faster, right? If you have $1,000 and you want to buy and sell coins, you can, maybe if you're buying $200 coins, you can buy 5. If you can take $4,000 of debt out, now you can buy 5 times as many as you can before, and your profits should scale nicely. But the issue is, so back to the old example, say if you have $1,000 and you can make 20%, goes to $1,200, you've made $200. If you have 5,000 but only 1,000 is equity, you make 20%, it goes to 6,000. But you now have $2,000 that's sort of yours, and you only put in 1,000 and you use the rest for debt. So whatever the cost of the debt is, you can obviously have much greater returns. It's 1,000 to 2,000 instead of 1,000 to 1,200. Some somewhat fast math, but it just illustrates why it can be useful to trade using that. However, in the previous example, if you have $1,000 and you trade it pretty poorly and you lose half of it, so now you're at 500. You have $500, you still have the cash. But if you drop 50% when you're leveraged significantly, all of a sudden you could owe somebody $1,500, and that's after you've sold all the coins off. And so you're going to have to, I don't know, they'll come after you, maybe go bankrupt, maybe you'll have to work for them. That actually happens in the coin industry, where somebody owes somebody, so they have to pay it off by sort of working. It's really something to be careful of, and combined, probably taking out debt and then trading in a very safe manner is already a little risky. And I've actually never taken out debt to do any of the buying on this business. You can try doing things on memo, but you can't sell, if you're auctioning the items and you say, I'll pay you $20 for this, let me sell it first, and then it goes to 15, it goes for 15, you're out of pocket $5. The whole point is, especially when it combines with other risky practices, which if somebody's risk averse and they're trading with debt, they're probably also more likely to go after some of the other crazy wins, because that brings us to our next point, which is cracking coins out. So a big way that a lot of people have profited handsomely is by taking coins that they believe to be undergraded. It's in a PCGS or NGC holder. They think it's a 68. It's in a 67 holder. They pay $5,000 for the coin, and a step up maybe nets them a profit of $45,000. It goes from $5,000 to $50,000. That's all great. However, what if that coin comes back 66? All of a sudden that coin is now worth, call it $1,000 in our example. And often the spreads are tighter, but it's still, something really to be aware of. Or what if that coin actually had a little bit of damage that, stuck through the grader, or they just missed it, or it was touched up a little bit, or to get that coin from a 67 to a 68, the person is going to do a little bit of coin doctoring. They're going to clean it or use some, very fancy a good coin doctor can profit massively if they can get it by the grading companies. It's an incredible skill. I have nothing to do with it, no idea. I've never even really cracked out a coin to send back for grading. Actually, I don't think I have. I've cracked out non-PCGS and NGC to send to PCGS. The whole point is, what if it's either a details coin or you doctor it and you make it a details coin, and instead of getting that upgrade, it is now in an UNC details holder and your $5,000 goes to $100. It's a massive loss in capital. Again, if you can do this in scale, say you have a pool of 500,000 to trade with and you can crack all of them out and you're good enough where the wins are going to offset the losses, that works. But if you're trading with other people's money and you lose all of it, going back to that first example, you're in a really bad position. The third way that people get in trouble, and this is probably the least one to worry about in my examples today, is by buying too much that they're losing on. I think it's super important to do a lot of turnover and to constantly be buying and selling, and I have a video that was recently released that talks about why this is so important. However, it's about tuning. If you're only winning, you should probably be buying more because you could be doing more volume, you could be learning about more coins, and if you're profiting on everything, you could probably be buying more that you're also going to profit on, and maybe you start losing a little bit. I think a sweet spot is kind of lose on 10 to 15% of stuff that you buy, but it all depends on your risk tolerance and really what the specifics of your coin business. However, if you're being super aggressive, you can't sustain 50% losses, 50% wins. For the most part, there's, again, crackouts, you can have 10% wins, 50% break even, 40% huge losses, and if you're good and doing it on the right ones, you can have some monster wins. So that's not the point. But generally, you want to fine tune so that you come back to buying a lot where you're breaking even and losing on some of it, but not too much where it's going to either just like bring down how well you're doing, or if you're doing that to such an extent that you're actually losing money, that's obviously a big issue as well. Number 4 seems silly, but it's getting robbed. It's something that's really important when you're trading and handling coins. You need to be super careful about how those operations work. If I have a bunch of very specific low value ancient coins, maybe I'm a little less worried about that versus, if I have very concealable or like gold bullion or something like that. But it's goes without saying, but you want to take a lot of important security measures, and when you have a box of coins at a coin show, you want to make sure that that's on you at all times, that you're very careful, because as of the New York International, somebody lost over $100,000, just got robbed. And maybe you have insurance. Coin insurance tends to be extremely expensive, so most coin dealers that I know don't have it, or especially the types that would maybe be watching this video. I don't think but if you're out there and you're one of the big coin guys, maybe leave a comment. I'd be excited that you're watching my video, but that's something that goes without saying. And then the last one is going to be to buy fake coins. So often on Instagram, I see this a lot. I don't do a ton of buying over Instagram, but there are a lot of accounts that just rip people's photos, post the coins at believable but really low prices, or maybe the prices that you might, a coin shop might pay somebody who walks in off the street who doesn't know very much about their coins. And if it's too good to be true, especially on Instagram or social media, things that are less regulated than like an eBay marketplace or that sort of thing, people can be very faceless, make lots of accounts that buy the followers, put up the photos. There's a lot of ways that you can buy. So that's like on one hand, like literally getting scammed, or buying fake. There's a lot of eBay coins that are from Russia and they're like definitely fake, or a lot of those are from abroad, but people test it out all the time. Worked in a coin dealership. Somebody paid like a little over $1,000 for an SVDB, and it was a somewhat obvious fake coin, but they got hurt on it. So there's a lot of fakes out there, and that also is a reminder to be very sure who you're dealing with. And if somebody buys a fake and the seller is a reputable seller, they'll get them their money back. But it's sort of a mix. It's generally scams and fakes. People sell, I was talking to one of my friends, they had bought a coin from somebody else. It was their first time buying that specific type of coin, and they didn't grade it for a while, but when they did send it in to get graded, it was an ancient coin. It was fake. And so, they went back to the person, got their money back, but it's you really want to avoid buying fakes. And if you buy the fakes from a seller that's not going to get you the money back, that's really the big issue. So anyways, hope that this was helpful. 5 ways not to go broke coin dealing. I think I'm also going to do a video that's like ways to avoid losing at coin dealing, which is a little bit different because what we're talking about today are the ways that you can really do a lot of damage. There's other things that might be holding your coin business back or something like that, and we'll be discussing those sometime in the next few weeks or months. So I'll see you there. Thanks for watching the video, and don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Also, be sure to visit our website, treasuretown.com, to stay up to date on everything going on the channel and possibly get some great deals on coins and collectibles. We look forward to seeing you on our future videos, and best wishes until then.